Most people think the way to be successful and to make people listen is to talk better, to sound confident, to have a clever line, the smart comeback, the final word. Yeah, no. This is a truth that's easy to forget. You don't get listened to because you're impressive, but because people feel safe with you. And the skill that creates that, the skill that changes every relationship, every argument, every creative collaboration, is the one that hardly anyone does well. Not speaking, listening. We live in a world built on noise. Everyone's talking, everyone's performing in some way. Nobody's really hearing anybody. Most of us don't listen. We wait for our chance to speak, to express our ideas, to defend ourselves, to demonstrate how smart we are, to be right. We wait just long enough for there to be a gap, and then we launch in. And when people don't feel heard, they get louder, they get defensive, they get smaller. It happens in marriages, in families, in boardrooms, rehearsal rooms, classrooms, everywhere. And because of that noise, people walk through life feeling unseen, like they could disappear and the world wouldn't notice. Carnegie spotted this 100 years ago. One line, one principle slices straight to the point. If you want to be interesting, be interested. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but the moment you actually live it, not just quote it, everything shifts. Because when you're genuinely interested in someone and ask genuine, clean questions, when you're not pretending and not performing, they feel it and they soften, and suddenly trust enters the room and woof, things flow. There's real neuroscience behind this. When someone listens to you with their full attention, mirror neurons fire. Your nervous system calms. Your brain literally opens up. Creativity, clarity, honesty, all of it switches back on. That's why good leaders and directors aren't necessarily the loud ones. They're the ones that create a space where you feel brave enough to try something stupid or brilliant, where you feel confident to ask a question when you don't understand or give an answer when you're really not that sure. I've seen it time and time again. In meetings, a rehearsal room, an argument in the classroom. You look someone in the eye and actually receive them. They transform. But the opposite's true too. The moment they feel judged or measured or dismissed, the shutters come down and you've lost them. Usually, when I go to a dinner party, I really try to put it into practice. I try to say as little as possible, to direct all my energy to listening to someone, to follow up with questions and keep them talking. But just the other week, I was at this dinner party with a charismatic senior executive in a global company, and he naturally slipped into this role, asking me open questions, really listening and following up with questions that dug deeper. And I found myself talking a lot, and a lot about myself. I left that dinner party thinking he was the most wonderful person, interesting, engaging, and it wasn't until I got home I realised I had done all the talking and he had more or less just listened. There's a reason he's the CEO of a multinational company. It's not an accident. That's Carnegie. That's the magic. All right, here are the tools. Use these today and someone in your life will feel the difference immediately. The 1 second rule. Before you respond, pause for a second. That silence pulls you away from any defensiveness and into curiosity. It gives you a moment to consider your response, and the person you're talking to will feel like you have really listened to what they're saying. It will dismantle 80% of arguments. Tell me more. 3 words that open locked doors. People go deeper instantly. It shows you're not just waiting to talk, you're following their thread. The emotional mirror. Don't repeat their words, reflect their feeling. It sounds like this has been exhausting. It sounds like you were blindsided. Sounds like you care about this more than people realise. This resets their nervous system. It's instant connection. The spotlight shift. Ask, what's difficult about this right now? That question changes the whole conversation. It moves people out of defensiveness and into truth. Curiosity over control. Whenever you feel the urge to correct or dominate, switch to curiosity. Ask a question instead of making a point. You'll be shocked how often people solve their own problems the moment they feel safe enough to think, and there's enough room for them to say their problems out loud. When you start listening like this, life gets quieter, calmer, simpler. People trust you. Arguments deflate. Creativity climbs, conversations flow. The room changes because you change. Most of us don't need to be right. We just need to be understood. And when you give that gift to someone, you become unforgettable. Carnegie didn't teach people how to manipulate others. He taught them to see others. And the moment you start doing that, people finally see you.